Hey, welcome guys, and just about Happy New Year, at least by the time this video is posting. What I wanted to do originally was take a look at my favorite models, the most fun models to build in 2024. The problem is I started this channel in September, and while we did get a good amount of models on the channel, I'm not really sure. I know what I built this summer, but I'm kind of blanking on what I built last winter and things like that. So we'll do this at the end of next year. The best models that we ended up building in 2025 and kind of rank them that way. But what I do want to start with is our top 5 that I'm looking forward to building in 2025. Kind of give anyone following this channel a sneak peek of what's to come. But also make sure that for me, because I keep about 15 models in my stash at any point in time, it's easy to not build some, right? As I think happens to all of us. So this will kind of, hopefully keep me on track to build these kits at some point. I'm not going to build them, these aren't going to be the next 5 models necessarily, but I really, really want to make sure that these get built in 2025. Because I am really looking forward to building them. So, without further ado, let's take a look at what we have on our list. Alright, so coming in at number 5, we have Tamiya's Comet. Barely fits on my desk here. So this came out in 2022 actually. And I believe this got, I don't know if it was 2022 or 2023, but I saw it get Kit of the Year somewhere. It is very similar to the Cromwell, and having built Tamiya's Cromwell, which is pretty old at this point, I just know that this kit is going to be amazing. If you take a look inside, which we'll pop the top open, we won't fully look at all these kits here, but we'll look at 1 or 2 pieces. It's just molded perfectly. There's a lot of awesome detail, on the mantlet there. And I just know that this is going to be, this is a new Tamiya kit. This is a new Age Tamia kit. It's going to click together, we're going to get a lower hull that's done up. It's not a bathtub style hull. It's actually down here. It's going to be in multiple pieces. I don't have the instructions blocking it. And there's nothing quite like putting one of those together. When it just fits perfect and all the seams disappear and everything like that, it's such a pleasure and it's such a good feeling building, as simple as building a lower hull is. It's just a representation of kind of where we've come from these 1970s kits that we all started building to the new age kits of today. The other thing is that I have quite a bit. I pretty much got everything from T-Rex. They do like an upgrade set in terms of there's like different machine guns and little doodads that go on the tank. I'm kind of blanking on what exactly is in there, but then I got like the pack of road wheels. I got the workable tracks. So that's the other big reason why I'm looking forward to building this. This will probably be a pretty long build because of that, because there's a lot of extra stuff that I have. It'll be a really in-depth build, and I've just been waiting for the right time to really invest into this build, because while it probably will click together and really build itself, there's going to be a lot of kind of extra that I'm putting into it and want to put on it and make it look really, really special. So that comes in at number 5, and let's take a look at what we have for number 4. Alright, so number 4. Now, this could easily be in number 1. We'll get into the reasons why it's number 4, but we have Tack OHS, new-ish at this point, Tiger 1. Now this is their late production with Zimmerman, and just to pop the top open, it's awesome. It is super, super detailed. The Zimmerman looks so good. It's like randomized, and it's a little bit chipped up in places and things like that. I think they did such a good job with this, with the Zimmerman on this kit. After building their half track this year, I know that there's going to be a ton of detail, and even just looking through the sprues and everything like that, there is going to be so much detail in this kit, and it's going to look so, so good. The problem with it, and the reason why it's number 4, is this. And that doesn't count the tracks down below. I actually got aftermarket tracks. These are the sprues that are in this kit. And that it's not that I don't enjoy a super in-depth build and a super detailed build, but it's going to be a project, right? I'm sure it'll build up pretty quick. It's a new age kit and everything like that, but it's definitely going to take a lot of work and just a lot of time and patience and everything like that. So that's why I put it at number 4. I am very, very excited to build it. I actually only have one Tiger on my shelf. To be honest, like, I just built the first Panther I've ever built after doing this for however long. I kind of shy away from, you know, all of the road wheels on the Tiger and Panther. It takes a long time, right? It's tedious. My hands cramp a little bit sanding all those road wheels. I'm sure everyone else's do. So it's just, I know it's going to be a lot of work, but I know it's going to be awesome in the end. So that's what we have at number 4, is our Tack OHS Tiger 1 with Zimmerit. All right, let's take a look at what we have for number 3. All right, so number 3. This is a kit I easily could have put as number 1. I guess they all kind of are, right? But this is a kit that I do not believe is sold in the US. I have really only seen a very small handful from this maker sold in the US. I think I know why, but after looking at them and doing a little bit of research on them, they look like awesome kits, at least the new ones. And this is just, it's not a tank, spoiler alert. This is just one of those vehicles that I enjoy building the most. You know, my favorite kits I've ever built are things like the Universal Carrier, the French UE Carrier, I believe it is, from Tamiya, you know, Greyhound. I love the small armored cars, tankettes, things like that. I do love the bigger tanks as well, but I kind of gravitate towards some of the more unusual vehicles, which I know a lot of people do too, rather than, you know, the Tigers and the Shermans and things like that. So, number 3, we have Zvezda, probably butchered that. We have their artillery tractor. Now, this is just a totally goofy looking vehicle. It's got personality, it's unique. I've seen pictures of the finished build, hopefully mine come out that well, and I just think it looks awesome. There's actually, I forget the name of the channel on the top of my head, but there's somebody on Instagram that made, I think it's like a 1/6 version of this, and they made it RC and drive it around in puddles. It's really, really awesome if you want to waste some time on the internet. But really, really looking forward to this. And in terms of, you know, some of these other kits on the market, because a lot of us build Tamiya, right? Tack OHS is huge. And then there's some of these other brands that, at least, again, for me, in my area, you can't get Zvezda in New England. So the Centerline Hobbies, you know, down the street for me, has one. They have the Sherman, and I don't know why I didn't buy it the other weekend, but I didn't. I ended up getting this one off of eBay, and it was about, I think it was $45 US. So free shipping. I think that's around what the kit MSRP is for. To be honest, I was going to buy this kit no matter what, unless it was probably over like 70 or 80, just because I like it and I really want to build this. But when, you know, we looked at Tamiya or like the Das Werk Panther in the last video that I, you know, published, they don't do paint guides. They don't do, like, there's a lot of things that kind of just, I wish we had. And that particular kit's $24.99. You know, it's great value, but come on, give us some colors, give us some idea of like what we need so we can be a little bit prepared going into it and things like that. And if you watch that video, I like the paint guide in the directions just so I can circle everything, and it's just how I've always done it. I go back and paint things in that order. Here, if that will focus, we get their paints, but we also get Tamiya paints, which is awesome because Tamiya paints, at least by me, are the most easily, acquired and easy to find and everything like that. So that for myself, and I think many of us, it seems like most people use Tamiya paints or like Vallejo, right? Very, very nice to know that. It's not something that we need, but it's just something that is nice to know. 273 parts, so it is a small kit. There will be some fiddly parts, I'm sure, but it's not going to be a crazy, crazy build in terms of number of parts. And if you just look at the sprues here, they're very, very nice. Everything is very sharp, and I'm really looking forward to it. The tracks, yes, might be a little bit small, and they're going to be Lincoln length, but we got our pre-molded sag in there and everything like that. So really, really looking forward to building this one. I guess these singular tracks are a little small, but we'll deal with it. But again, the wheels are very, very sharp, and I just like how they've molded everything here. It just looks good. The injector pin marks are in, the places where they should be, where they're going to be easy to clean up. So looking forward to that one. Without further ado, let's move on to kit number 2. All right, so coming in at number 2, it's kind of an obvious one. Hopefully not. It's just one of those, we'll call it vehicles for now, that I think is on everybody's list. And I've never built one. I've built a lot of things like it, but I had I guess it would be my great uncle that flew one of these in World War II, and I've always wanted to build one. It's just getting one, it might be a little bit too big for my spray booth, things like that, so we might have to wait until the summer when we can spray paint things. But we have, I can't even fit it on the screen here, we have our Airfix B17 Flying Fortress. So this is a 1/72 scale. I can adjust this a little bit, which means it's not going to be too big, which is nice. I don't want it to be huge like the C-47 I built. Turn that light off. I want it to be a good size. I want it to look, I have a lot of 172 aircraft already, just because they take up less space and I am limited on space. So this fits the bill across the board. Now I think I bought this kit like 2 or 3 years ago, and I've just been waiting for the right moment to build it. That being said, unfortunately, this was actually going to be the next kit that I built, but I opened it up and found this piece was just flat out missing. Now I double checked every bag. It does look like it broke. If you watch the ME410 video, I did have a piece from Airfix. It was a machine gun that only got like half molded, which I've actually never seen that before. But this piece is just flat out missing. I've emailed Airfix. I'm getting a replacement part. If not, it's one of the engine covers. I don't know. I could build it without it. It's not a big deal, but trying to get that part, before I dive into this, because I hate putting kits on the shelf when they're half built. But we get a good amount of detail. There's going to be some nice dry brushing and stuff we can do in here, even though you won't really see the inside. I don't take a ton of time on my aircraft interiors, but it just looks like a really, really nice interior for a 172. I know that it's a bigger plane, but we're going to get some nice detail and things here on the wings that we're going to be able to do some nice weathering on. And it's going to be, the paint scheme is going to be like aluminum. So it's a B17. That's pretty much speaks for itself, right? Masters of the Air came out, I don't know, a year ago or something. We're all hyped about B17. So that is why it's on my list and why it's number 2. And we'll give a little representation to some aircraft on here as well. All right. Without further ado, let's look at number 1. All right, coming in at the number 1 spot. This is this is just one of those kits that you just know is going to be perfect. It's a perfect subject, and well, it's made by Tamiya. So it's the M18 Hellcat tank destroyer. Tanks are awesome. Armored cars are awesome. Nothing really beats a tank destroyer. In my mind, it's for multiple reasons. We have, on a tank, we have, you know, large surface areas and things like that to weather. On a tank destroyer, we usually have, you know, some sort of a canvas cover. So we're going to be able to do some nice wash and dry brushing there. Just bring a little bit something different to the vehicle. Talk about wheels compared to the Tiger, right? We have very simplified wheels. There's no bogies, there's nothing like that we really have to construct. So from a construction standpoint, it's usually quite easy. This, I know this little rack on the side is going to be interesting with that decal, but we'll work through it. We'll just attach it at the end. But we get an interior, and it's my favorite kind of interior. It's going to be, you know, not something that we have to spend a ton of time on, but it's going to be just having those white sidewalls in the interior. It just brings a little bit something else to it. And maybe my favorite kit that I've ever built is Academy's Hellcat. Now, it looks like it's going to be a little bit different, right? We have some side armor and things like that, so it will be nice because it will be a different model, but it's just awesome. There's just nothing quite like a tank destroyer. And we'll open it up in a second. Very similar to the Comet, you just know this kit is going to fall together. It's got the lower hull that's going to just, you know, like magic, work up. A lot of nice, right, indicator marks and things like that. The molding is perfect. This is just classic new Tamiya. It really, when you look at the parts in here and everything, it really just feels like this is kind of the pinnacle of what they do best, right? We have a really nice floor section there on the interior. Looks like maybe the like firewall or something, and just some nice detail. Again, lots of nice, good marks where we're going to put things on, and you just know that this kit is going to be great to build, and it's going to be even better on the shelf. And we have some very thin plastic here. You know, it's a little bit difficult to see through the plastic, but instead of photo etch. So really, really nice. Really excited to build this one. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that, you know, this helps me stay a little bit accountable for what I'm going to build in 2025. Again, these won't be built in this particular order, or, you know, these won't be my next 5 kits because other things get released. And again, I like to keep about 15 kits in my stash at any, you know, point in time, simply because in order to avoid fatigue, I like to let, you know, my mind or your heart or whatever just pick out a kit from that stash. Like, what do I want to build next? It's easy. You look at it and it's like, hey, that one, right? Sometimes, like after I build that Tack OHS Tiger, I'm going to need a palette cleanser for sure. I'm going to need like a rubber band track kit, something easy. After this one, I may say I never want to build a model again because that was so perfect and it'll never be like that again. Who knows? But I appreciate you guys watching. If you haven't already, I would please ask you to like and subscribe. And we will see you next year, although you're probably watching this in 2025. And we'll see you on the next review, build video, weathering video, whatever it may be. Happy New Year, guys.